Hello. I am back. For those who are always wondering, what did this too much talking, Emma? Where did she go? Well, I'm here, guys. If you're tuning in, this is more of a stream live thing because I want this to be a inclusive discussion that we are going to be having today. So, if you are new to my channel, I want to welcome you. Guys, hello. This is a very interesting discussion. I'm going to bring people on my live today to discuss a few things. So yeah, if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been on my channel, thumbs up to you. Let me see if I'm actually live. Um, let's see. Am I live? Am I? I just live on YouTube. Let's see. Let's see if I am live or not. Okay. Let's see if I'm live on YouTube. Okay, bear with me, whoever it is. Welcome. Hello. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see if I'm actually live on here or not. Switch channels. Okay. Yes, I should be. Okay, so yes, it shows that I am actually live. Yeah, okay. So this topic, I had this discussion with somebody, and then I read some news out of Liberia recently regarding the air situation, waste, and other stuff. So I was reading an article from Front Page Africa about Town. So Town is about 20 minutes from the airport, okay? And I would say 40 minutes from Town to ELWA, about 40 minutes, okay? That's the distance. So I was reading this, I read this article and it said they use this place as a landfill, right? So it's where everyone pack all the dirt from that whole Robert Street Highway and so some parts of Montserrado County, because remember, once town is in Mangibi County, and so they people dump dirt at this specific location. And so as I'm reading, I'm very curious to know what's happening to some of the residents there and the health repercussion that it'll bring to the people within Town. So if you're just joining right now, you're probably wondering, where is Town? What's going on? This is a discussion that I would like to have and obviously include people who want to be a part of it. So Town, as I mentioned, if you've been on this live for some time, you should know I just started this live just now, but I'm talking about a town in Liberia called Town. Town. Yes. I'm in my NFL spirit at this point. That's why I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wear my jersey, my Niners jersey, and just sit here and talk today. So if you guys are haters, it's okay. The NFL is about to start. I'm excited. I wish I could go for Denver Broncos, but I'm such a Niners fan. I would just be supporting Russell Wilson on this side. Okay, so I'm not a Broncos fan. But anyway, so if you're familiar with Liberia, West Africa, you should know, or going from the airport to Monrovia, you should definitely know a place called Town, or perhaps if you're familiar with it, you should know. So I read an article, and it's about about pollution and clean air and all these things. So um, let me see. I just want to make sure this is live here. Mhm. So I know I want to make this interactive because some people was like, hey, Emma, sometimes I want to join your channel to say something, and I don't get the opportunity to do so. So I've decided to open this up on StreamYard. If you want to be a part of this discussion, obviously, you can send me your email, and I would definitely add you to this discussion. And it's very important to get different voices on this thing instead of talking to you guys all the time. Um, so yes, I'm in an NFL jersey because the NFL season's about to start, and I'm a 49ers fan. That's one thing I've said on this channel. I'm a 49ers fan. I'm a Manchester United fan. I live and breathe Manchester United. So if you are a hater, okay, there you go. I mean, again, that's a very good point. But this topic really centers around a specific place in West Africa, Liberia, called Town. So the people pile the trash in this specific neighborhood, and the residents are dying of diseases, right? Because they are so exposed. So this is where this question, derived. Now, if you want to stretch the question and talk about clean air across, depending where it is, then you will say, but when you see people dying of communicable diseases because of the exposure to this waste, then that become a problem. And so specifically, I'm talking about Town. So I read this article and it said per day there's 800 tons of waste. We're not talking about inorganic waste. We're talking about inorganic, organic waste. We're also talking about biodegradable waste. Okay, so you can see a lot of the medical stuff, all of those included, and it piles up. And by within a year time frame, you have almost like 1 million tons of waste per day. You're looking at 1,613 thousand of that per day. So it's a lot. And so people within this community are just very powerless. They feel that they have no voice to say anything, and that people will come to their aid, and they are dying of diseases and just a lot of exposure to these things. That's why I would like to know if it's more so a right, a privilege for them to breathe in clean air, and that things are not being done about this. Uh, what are some people thoughts about this, especially those who are in close proximity or who have people there in Liberia and or care for waste management, all of those things. Um, if you're joining this live, we're talking about air quality in Liberia. By that, I'm talking about the exposure to waste product for people in Liberia, especially those on the Robert Street Highway, since we're wasting so much trash along that way, and that not much is being done. Absolutely nothing is being done about it. So if you want to be on my live to talk and weigh in on this topic, please don't be shy. Please do so. Please do so, and we can talk about it. Okay, so there's a comment here. So I'm not sure if clean air is. However, I do know that safe drinking water is a human right, and that's another problem too that we can talk about another time. I just specifically wanted to address this problem that has been an age-old problem since 2012 up to 2019. Something was partially done about it, and ever since then, within the last 3, 4 years, well, 2019 to now, 3 years, nothing else has been done about it, and people are dying from various diseases because of the exposure to such waste products on that side of town. I do know that surgeon, but the same thing. Anyway, so if you're interested in being a part of this life, let me know, and I will surely include you. And then there's another news. We'll come back to this whole clean air thing if I can get more people to kind of engage with this, because I don't want this to be more of Emma's topic, but more of an interactive topic. So the other news is Airway, AWA, um, is no longer going to be operational in both Monrovia and Sierra Leone. So I'm your news person for today. Due to, of course, operational increase in operational cost, and this you can be seen across all businesses because of fuel prices. And so, African War Airlines Airway that flies from Ghana, Accra, to Monrovia and Sierra Leone will no longer be operational in Liberia until the rest of the year. They can decide, maybe they might open it up next year, but that's very unfortunate because a lot of us do fly from Ghana to Monrovia, and now they're gonna cut the whole thing, and so that's a very sad news. So if you are not up to date regarding this airline, if you're taking this airline from Ghana to Monrovia, then it's very unfortunate for you that the airline would no longer be operating in Liberia, Monrovia. So there you go. More, more very discouraging things continue to happen, but our hope is not lost. Okay, so same comment. Like I said, I want to make this conversation more interactive. There's no need to talk to myself or just to give my opinion all the time about stuff. So I definitely would like to hear from you guys. If you want to be on this live right now, like on live, then you can send me your email and then I will invite you. Or I can send you send me your email. I will send you the link and you can come on and we can have a conversation regarding this topic. So yes, if you are new, you can put your hands up. If you're new, you can put your hands up and you can tell me who you are. Where are you chatting from? Where are you watching from? It is currently 5 o'clock, around 5 o'clock, almost 6 o'clock here in California. Where are you watching from? You can let me know and we can converse. Don't be boring, okay, guys? What is this? Don't be boring. Don't make me talk about myself. Okay, there you go. Okay, now I figure out how to do that. If you have nothing else to say here, then I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. Taking a little break from work. Oh, San Francisco. Yes, I used to go to San Francisco back in the day. Back in the day when I lived in Sacramento. That was my place to be when I needed to get away from boring life, right? I would say I was made fun of Sacramento, that Sacramento is relatively boring. And so I used to go to San Francisco, go to Lake Merritt around the Oakland area, go eat all the good sushi and other things that San Francisco has to offer, Mirrorwoods and Redwoods, other places. I used to go on that side. And so, yeah, so anyway, good talking to you here, chatting with you, and thanks for tuning in and being inactive actually on this life today here. So we're both in California anyway. Um, I don't know. I don't know. If I cannot have people interacting, I'm definitely going to be saying goodbye because I want this to be more of an interactive discussion. People do have a lot to say in my inbox, but then when I come here, I want these same people to come on live. I know a lot of you are probably too shy to come on live because I cannot really answer a lot of your questions. My inbox is now starting to get really full with questions, and the best way to do this sometimes is on the live when I can answer questions for everyone to see, and people can replay and get some of the responses to those questions. So yes, we have somebody watching from San Francisco, my fellow Californian. um, and who else is watching? Where are you watching from? Are you watching from Liberia? Wherever you're watching from, let us know. Let's be interactive. Let's have fun. And I've had a long day, so that's really why I'm on this live. You guys, I think you can notice when I'm having a long week and I come on this live is meant to just share laughter and hear from others because some of us will work from home now, and so we don't really have that interaction as much during the course of the week. And so when I come on live, it's to interact with you. So don't be boring. Okay, I will go live, but I'm in class, right? It's okay. You have been so, anyway, you've been participating. So thank you so much. I hope we're not disturbing your time in class. So anyway, you guys have 4 people in this live. Who are you? Where are you watching from? This young person here has been. Your name says EMM. Is that for Emmanuel? What is it? What does it stand for? So if you're watching here, guys, where are you watching from? I am here in Los Angeles, California. And our good friend here is in San Francisco in class and still being very supportive of this life. I want you to tell me where you're watching from, and if you want to join my live, so we can talk about clean air being if clean air is a right or a privilege. Hi, Mike V. Hello, you're watching from Boston. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you want to be on the live, just share your email, and I'll get you on here, and we can talk about if clean air in Liberia specifically, right? I know other places the debate is going on, but if it is a right or a privilege in Liberia, and I have a specific town that I want to target only because there's so much going on in that town and it's not much is being done about it. And I would like to know if you believe the access to clean air and even waste management system within that place is even a right for those residents that are there. So yeah, so we have somebody from Boston and from San Francisco. And what else? So four people are watching this right now. They cannot tell me where they're watching from. Okay, that makes sense. Um, so until you can tell me where you're from, I have nothing to say. Mm, okay, so I guess we watch each other. Except I can see you guys. Okay, are you going to Africa Tech Summit in a few weeks? Where is it? Where is it? I know a friend just told me about it, but I don't have much info because I'm going to Italy in 3 weeks for business, and then I'll be back here for personal stuff, and then I'll go to Africa. So, if in a few weeks, okay, where? Where is it? I guess I can look it up. Let's see. Text. Okay. Wonder. Okay, I see. I see. Okay, there's one. Is that? Are you referencing the one in Nairobi? Oh wait, no, okay, that's okay. Okay, Accra, Ghana. Next one would be Liberia. Huh? Really? I thought it was in Kenya for some reason, or my friend got that wrong. I don't know. Okay. I don't think if it's in a few weeks, I wouldn't be going there. But I've been meeting with some of my Ghanaian colleagues in Italy to go over to handle some business stuff over there, and also the things that we're doing in Ghana as well. So maybe I'm gonna miss out on this one. Um, are you going as well, Mike? Will you be attending? If it when would the next one be in Liberia, that I would like to know. If it's in Liberia, I must be there. Um, are you attending? Okay, clean air is a human right. Okay, there we go. Somebody has a different opinion. Um, our friend here said that clean air is more so. Let me put the comment here. Of course, we're having healthy debate and our conversations here. So he's saying, so I'm not sure if clean air is a right, okay? However, I do know that safe drinking water is a human right. And then we have our friend here, Mike, who says clean air is a human right. Yes, I am booking my flight right now. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I will be in Ghana, though, early. When do I go first? So, November, December, Liberia, end of December, Ghana. Okay, so yeah, I'll be in Ghana next. I'll be in Ghana soon, but yeah, I just haven't decided if it's gonna be Ghana first or Liberia first. Either way, I'm gonna be in Liberia for a long time, and then I'm gonna go over to Ghana. And so, in order for clean air to be a right, we Liberians have to. Oh wait. Okay, let me read that again. Okay, okay. So, in order for clean air to be a right, we Liberians will have to sign petitions. Then our government will have to vote if the issue can be passed into law. Okay, that's another perspective. You know, the for this specific place that I mentioned before, This specific place is receiving about 800 tons of waste. Okay, and within a year time frame between in 2019, they were producing or they were piling up about 580,000 waste. Okay, on this landfill. And what's happening with Wenstown is a lot of residents are having communicable diseases because of what they're inhaling. Okay, the place is not safe for residents. So at some point, they were doing, they try to see how they could use methane to convert for energy for the residents there, and that project failed miserably. Oh, somebody sent me a message. It failed miserably, and so the residents are still left with nothing, without a solution, and people are dying of communicable diseases and other things, and you can see bed bugs, roaches, and rats, and all of these are coming from this landfill. It's definitely not helping residents of that place. So I wanted to bring a little bit of attention to this because this is not my first time reading this article today. Every day I try to get some info about Liberia. Really, every day I read 4 articles every day, 4 to 5 articles, or whatever the news may be. I read about it, and this article that was not my first time. This is updated article. For some reason, they have the audacity to update the amount of trash that is still going to a place that's already full. But not once did I read within such an article the solutions. There are multiple solutions when it comes to this. I have yet to see. But what I see is pointing and pointing and pointing and pointing and saying yes, people are dying factually. But what is the solution? And so I'm not seeing it. Really wanted to highlight this area specifically. So anyway, if the oh shit, my laptop is about to die. My laptop is always dying. If the pollution is human made, then is the human needs to pay a carbon tax for polluting the air. The air was clean before the person got there. Exactly. So these very underprivileged human beings of Winston, right, will have to somewhat, as they've been told, to get used to this because it's a 25 acres of land used for government purposes, government approval for waste product. All right, guys, you guys have to excuse me for a little bit. I need to get my computer charger. Yes, I was shorting my house. um. So let's see. Let's see. So anyway, as I was saying, residents of this place, yes, could probably contribute. Yeah, not probably. They're contributing to the waste there. Yes, of course. But if you're looking at since 2019, if you're looking at 1,613 tons of waste, okay, we're talking about inorganic and organic waste, okay, that's where you have your biodegradable waste, things from hospitals, all kinds of trash being piled up over there. That specific community cannot produce 1,613 tons of trash per day. You're looking at 583,000 plus per year. This community, small little community, just cannot. So the Montserrat County and my Gibby County, partially, they're contributing to all this trash, killing these fewer people in this little town. Before my computer started to die, guys, excuse me. My computer is just always dead. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the people over there in these let's see, surrounding communities in Wenstown, they should be allowed to breathe clean air because, like this person said, obviously, human needs to pay carbon taxes for the pollution. The people who are putting that there, right, and impacting and negatively impacting the lives of those in Wenstown need to be held responsible for what they're causing these poor people. And I say poor people because obviously they don't approve for such waste to be piled up in their town. So, guys, we're having this conversation. If you want to be a part of it, send me an email. Let me add you to this life, okay? I don't want to talk to myself. I don't want to talk to myself. But so I personally believe, and I am just trying to get everyone's opinion here, that obviously in this specific time, and maybe everywhere else, it should be all right. But there's consequence to everyone's action. So in this case, if the resident of this town were piling up dirt, right, and not looking for other ways to reduce, oh, what's the email? No, if you can give me your email, then I will send you a link to come on. If they were piling up dirt, like consistently piling up dirt, which I know very well is a small town, they cannot pile up that much dirt. Then for those who are doing the dirt piling, should be responsible. Now, Pinsville Waste Management people said, okay, we'll be responsible for it. They try to go the waste management route, conversion route, not waste management, sorry, conversion route, which is where you get this dirt converted into energy, which they said they were going to, and or other products, which they said they were going to. But then it failed. As for everything else, you have to wonder why. Why? Why the World Bank is applying with such, like the World Bank is providing you with the funds to take care of this issue, yet still you fail. So these are some of the questions I continue to ask myself. Yes, funding is huge when it comes to waste management, but then I come and say, okay, Mike, I'll give you millions to take care of this issue. And then you have a high failure rate. So then my question to you is, what happened to you? Is it incompetence, lack of care, or perhaps mismanagement? I don't like to politicize things, but this topic really is an interesting political issue. Let's see. It would be great if our government could invest in bioenergy. We can then transform all those waste into energy, electricity. Say it for everyone in the back to hear. Viviana says for everyone, everyone in the back to hear. Okay, if they can provide incentives, so think about it. Even in the great United States, right? My grandma loved to recycle. Do you think my grandma really cares about the environment? Let's just be honest. My grandma does not really care for the environment. She's old, she's stuck in her way, she doesn't really care. My grandma recycles because she know what she get financial benefits. That's just my grandma, okay? I personally care for the environment, so I do things a little differently. But you know what? Is I don't recycle. I give people the cans to go and recycle. But if there's an incentive why people should really collect and take it there because they're getting an incentive. If we are trying to target electricity, convert this waste into electricity, wouldn't you think that would be a larger incentive for the people? I hate to say government, so that's kind of why I keep saying the people. Don't you think that's a big incentive for the people? Even if a household was paying $5 electricity bill, like don't you think that is still an incentive? But like I said, so I'm sure when you go to Liberia, you're probably gonna have a solar farm. I hope so. If you are interested in coming on this live, please do so we can have this conversation. Anyway, but it is definitely a bigger incentive. And let me tell you something. Energy is of the biggest form, but it's not the only one. Okay, let's see here. I'll give you an image. Oh, what to say? No. What is it? I don't see an email. Wait, did you put an email here? Let's see. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, how about you send your email to, oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Let's see something. Okay, post a comment. Okay, send your email to mine. Yeah, email address to mine, and then I will be able to add you on here at gmail.com. Okay. Okay, so you can email me through this email right here. Yes, I love you right now. Something is a good way to get library to recycle. Okay. So I put my email in on there so you can email me and then I will check now and see how best I can add you to the live, sending you a link so you can be invited. Okay, let me take a look at my email here and see. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, give me a moment, guys. Okay. All right. So my email is actually open. Ah, okay. Go back to my email here. So if you send me an email, you should then. Okay, there we go, Mike. There we go. I'm gonna send you an invite. Okay. 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 Guys. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh my God, my age is showing. Oh no. Okay, guys, please bear with me here. I gotta. Oh Jesus, what happened now? What's going on here now with me? Okay. Don't do this. Okay. Anyway, I see a mic. I see your email. Okay, so I'm gonna send you the invite now, so you can come on. Okay. Come on, Emma. What is going on here? Okay. I'll be back, guys. Don't worry. I'm coming. I'm just being an old woman today. Um, I'm acting like an old woman today. I'm not an old woman. Acting like an old woman today. Okay. So my I see your email. Okay, let me send you this. Oh come on, where did it go? So anyway, it's taking some time, right? You're gonna get the email soon. Uh, sent to me. All right. Uh, Mike, you'll be invited soon. I just need to figure this thing out. What's happening? Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. I got it. I got it. I got it. There we go. There we go again. This is what happens when you continue to act like an old woman. Okay, so there we go. Give me access to that. Okay, Mike, please confirm if you received my email. Okay. Of course. Where is it? Oh my God, you guys are probably losing patience with me, huh? Actually, God, okay, there we go. Mike, please confirm if you received it. Okay, so I'm not quite sure if Claire should be alright. Alright, okay, that's the same thing. Okay, come on, that one. Mike will be on this thing. Mike, please confirm when you receive the email. So other than electric converting waste to energy, there are other things you can do, like fuel. Okay, you can look into even some of the food products and other things that you could collect within this waste can be converted to what? Fertilizers. That fertilizers. Look, you look at agriculture and farming, and you really wonder where fertilizer is purchased from, and you have waste that you can use to even get those fertilizers. Okay, definitely can be done. Now it's an expensive process. It's an expensive process. But if you are an entity receiving millions of dollars, what's the problem? What is the problem? If say how much to be electricity in Liberia? How much to be electricity? Are you talking about like what kind of electricity are you talking about? Solar grades? Are you talking about generator type electricity? Are you talking about electricity from what exactly? From which? What are you what are you talking about? How much to be electricity in Liberia? So Mike, can you confirm if you received my email? Let's see. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So my point is there are so many things that can be done with this waste product that we're getting. But the failure rate is so high for many reasons. Mismanagement being one of them, okay? Incompetence being another. Partially lack of knowledge. Incompetence is different from lack of knowledge. People who say, I know how to do something, and then they just don't actually know how to do it. Instead of mobilizing and getting those who are well experienced and versed because of wanting to house the money or whatever resources, they decide to say, you know what? Oh, maybe my uncle took a class in chemistry, so I'm going to include my uncle in the project. And then no results, and things don't get accomplished this way. And then the poor people, when it's time, starts to die because of all these diseases that they didn't put on themselves. So this is oh, Mike is there. Okay, let's see. At least I'm not talking to myself today. Okay. Hi Mike, how are you? Hello? Hello? Mike? Can you
Oh,
get
can you hear me?
yes. Hey, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And yourself?
I'm good. Thank you. Okay, thanks
Hey.
for coming on live. Yeah. So, do you have anything to add to this discussion uh, regarding
I,
clean air and in Liberia surrounding? If you have anything to add.
so I think one of the major issues that we saw during COVID was the shutdown, right? When
Mm-hmm.
all the cars were off the road, all the people were off the road. Overnight, you saw that the air cleaned up itself
Mm-hmm.
within 24 hours, 72 hours. Pollution disappeared based
Right.
on what the satellites were able to track. And
Right.
so
Right.
we know if we shut down for a period of time, the environment will eventually take care of itself. And
Mm-hmm.
so to answer your question, is there a solution to this? That's one solution, is to stop polluting the environment with the material items that we have, which are these cars and these bikes and these scooters and things like that. The second factor here is, what are the carbon emission goals of the environment itself? What can we tolerate versus what are we putting out?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have to operate vehicles as it stands right now, because we don't have a whole lot of EV charging stations in Liberia and some of these other places, because we just don't have the infrastructure. So we have to be able to accept the risk that we're going to pollute the environment based on that. Now, to your other point that you said about the trash and things like that that's in the environment, that really is out of the scope of management for basic citizens of the environment. They're not responsible for the environmental waste, in terms of the management, environmental management. And so you're in LA, I'm in Boston. We do have recycling programs that where the city addresses these issues. Same thing with battery pickups and things of that nature, toxic items that can't just be easily disposed of. I think we have to look at it from a framework,
Okay.
ROHS, right? Reduction of hazardous substances. These
Mm-hmm.
sort of things, frameworks are in place that we can actually borrow and use to say, in this environment, this is a generic framework that can actually be applied
Okay.
regardless of where you are. We just don't throw away batteries in the street. We just don't throw away oil and motor oil and gas and diesel into the dirt or to the environment like that. We don't pour it into the sewer drain. It's illegal. It's against the law. You can go to jail, you can be fined, and things like that. Basic framework in place that says how we should manage hazardous materials, how we should go about dealing with carbon emissions is a first step, from
Mm-hmm.
my perspective, to answer your question.
Okay. And I do see, definitely agree with you there because education, right, in that part of the word is very crucial. If individuals are being told how to separate some of these waste products and the reason why they have to separate these products, I believe it becomes part of the framework, because if I have waste to dispose, and all I know is one site and one place to just dispose this, whether it's um, things from the hospital or even things from my house or backyard or wherever it is, if I only have this option to throw it here on this pile, that's exactly where I'm going to put it. But if we have a system in place to say bottles, cans, batteries, all of these other things can be separated, or we have a system or company there to allow us to separate these things and incentivize this program, I think it helps the framework too. More people are not very inclined to know what things are supposed to be. And perhaps even if they are, they have no access to where it needs to go. So the immediate thing there is, let me just throw it where I can, really. And I don't really know about the environmental repercussion about it. I'm just going to do what it is that I see. And that's what a lot of these people, they're collecting the waste product, and then there we go. Once town is there, we'll pile this up. We don't care about the risks to the environment. We don't care if it causes pollution. These things. We're just gonna throw it there.
Well, there's two factors to this, right? You have, citizen pollution, but then you also have external factors, like a lot of the uh, computer systems that come out of Europe, especially the UK, which is
Mm-hmm.
an investigation that was done a few months ago, when they tracked some of the UK computers and other substances that were being sent out for recycling, what ended up happening is that they end up in three places in Africa.
Where?
Ghana, Ghana was one.
Mm,
The other was Kenya,
mm.
um, and I think the third place, um, I want to say it was another country on the maybe Madagascar or something like that. And
Mm.
so they had these governments had these agreements prior to COVID that they would accept um, items that can be recycled. But what was happening was that the UK government, the Europeans were packaging these computer systems and just throwing it into the pile too. And what happens here is you cannot recycle a lot of these items. And so now you have all of these poor Africans who are trying to scrape gold and other materials, raw materials off of these computers and these systems so that they can try to turn some kind of profit. But in reality, they're burning it, and the burning of it is actually
Okay.
causing the pollution. And so what I think the African Union and whatever governments are involved need to do is to deny these systems from coming, this trash from coming in, and possibly hold these, these distributors. So Dell, for example, in America, does
Mhm.
not. When you buy a Dell system as a company, you cannot send it outside of America for recycling. It has you when the contract that you sign says that you have to be responsible for the domestic recycling and waste management of it. If you do, you have to pay a fine. And so you won't see a Dell computer in Africa or somewhere else in Asia because they had this obligation for the last 10 years. I used to work for the company, so I understand the process.
Oh, you used to work for Dell specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I understand that there's a process set up to stop the pollution of Dell products in other countries. They don't want to see their laptops and monitors in landfills in other countries where that causes impact. And so they have started this process, and now other companies are starting to adopt it. But in Europe, they don't have that sort of agreement.
So these are taken to Africa, like you mentioned, Kenya, Ghana, and another country. I really have to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Fascinating, fascinating. So this is obviously a very open discussion, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you were targeting waste management in this specific town, like I've said, per day is 800 tons of waste, organic waste, and then per year is like 580,000 plus waste. How will you go about it? I know you did mention framework, right? We need to put together a framework.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were a company, hypothetically, how will you go about it? Sounds like you know a lot about waste management.
Well, we have to figure out what's recyclable and what's not. That's the first
Mm-hmm.
thing. And what systems do we have in place to actually dispose of a lot of the other trash? So you could potentially burn it,
Mm, okay. So I
but
see that that's what some of them are doing, right? So there's a place called Burners Farm and they're burning it, but then isn't it causing more pollution to the air? Or is it like when you put it in the ground and burn it that way? I don't know. What can you elaborate?
they have incinerators, right? And so the incinerator, when they dump the trash, it goes on a conveyor belt and it goes into an incinerator, and then it burns off, and then that air gets captured into a carbon capture system, and it kind of reduces it. So there's an acceptable risk
Okay, okay. Acceptable
for
risk.
how much carbon we're willing to emit for the process of burning trash versus how much carbon are we willing to emit for a diesel truck. If a
Okay.
diesel truck is putting out so much pollution, so much carbon in one setting, right? We can measure the carbon capture there,
Mm-hmm.
and we can say this truck times 1,000 is not acceptable for the environment that it's going to operate in. Whereas at the sanitation center, the trash recycling center, we have to accept that risk, that because that recycling center, that trash management can't move. You cannot move that anywhere. It's stationary. Those vehicles are not stationary. They're mobile. They move around, and they bring their pollution everywhere they go. Whereas the carbon emission from the trash recycling center, that's going to be stationary. We have to accept that risk for right now until we can come up with an alternative solution.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think When it comes to
Okay.
food waste is going to be different, right? So now we can collect food waste. We don't have to throw it in the trash. We can collect it in bins. We can go send it down to the biorecycling center. We can give the poor person, 10 cents or whatever it is on the dollar per pound or per ounce to
Mm.
compensate them so that where everybody benefits from this both ways. We benefit by not polluting the environment, and then we're compensating people so that they're not just actually rummaging through trash. We can pay them up front. We can use cryptocurrencies. We can go about this through digital finance, decentralized financing. We can pay through their phone. They get a nice text message that says, based on the amount of weight, you gave us 10 pounds, we gave you $10, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a whole entire mechanism that we can go about doing this
Mm,
with
mm,
technology.
mm. You made a good point because oftentimes when people think recycling, they think cans only,
Mm-hmm.
bottles and sometimes batteries, depending on where you are. But yeah, the food waste honestly is one of those that we need to assign incentive because I think when we do that, we're really reducing some of the problem associated with the waste issue there. Wow, very valid. Good
Mm-hmm.
points.
Yeah,
um,
I bought a food composter for my mother recently for as a birthday gift back in July, and what it does is it takes all the waste food that you have and it grinds it down
mhm.
and burns it, and then it gives you what's left over, and then you can add it back into your garden to feed your plants.
Yeah, exactly. Fertilizer is exactly, and that's a good that's a good system to take to Liberia, a country that suffers so much from waste management issue, and so framework and knowing how to separate the various garbage and then see also what type of risk, if the risk is more minimum versus if it's it produces a lot or uh, yeah, produces a lot. For example, like you talk about the burning, even if it's environmentally okay versus the other methods that are currently in place. But again, the burning is not a primary solution, you would say. Did I lose him there?
No, I put myself on mute, but I kind of missed what you just said.
So you would say burning, right? Burning is not necessarily a primary solution.
It's not necessarily a primary solution, but you most trash management, waste management centers do have incinerators as a primary go-to for waste of trash. And
Mm,
then there's other areas that may pack it into blocks and then store it off-site somewhere, depending on what kind of trash they're collecting. So, for example, clothes, we can remake clothes.
mm-hmm.
We can recycle rubber. There's many different ways of how to parse some of these items of trash that's going to be there. And so we just have to come up with a method of this is what we're going to collect versus what we're not going to collect, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I mean, the same here. I mean, in the U.S. here, whenever you go and recycle, what is it called? Glass. There are some they will recycle, and there are others they won't. So, the same can be applicable to other items. Okay, very good, very good. Anything else to add? Because this is a huge problem in Liberia, and people have tried to find different solutions, very surfaced solution, which is just getting the trash and putting it in one place and not going beyond that. So,
Well, we can stop accepting certain items that are not recyclable
hmm,
from and stop importing it into the country. I mean, that's
that's another
that's
way.
that's another way of just over time just reducing it, right? You don't want to keep bringing in um, non-recyclable goods, into the
Hmm.
country because it's cheap. It's cheap up
It's
front,
cheap. Yeah.
but the long term you can't break it down. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like styrofoam. Styrofoam is something that can't be recycled. It can't be broken down. You have to burn it, and if you burn it, it's going to emit a lot of carbon. And so the solution to that is to use a different material like cardboard or something like that, or like paper. Same thing with straws. Straws are made of plastic, and a lot of cities in the United States don't accept plastic straws anymore.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
must be a different recyclable material. There's a lot of bamboo that can be easily grown in Liberia because of the climate, and so you can actually create bamboo straws.
Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, just I was reading somewhere that even a plastic bag, if you put it on the floor, it could take years and years before it can even decompose. If it could even decompose, I'm like, wow, that's
Yeah,
very interesting.
yeah. We don't accept plastic bags anymore. I think we banned those maybe 5 years ago. Everything is paper now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people are moving really towards just paper now these days.
Yeah.
And our poor Africa is still taking a lot of trash in from Europe and even the Americas. So anyway, good points there. Good points there. I would
Mhm.
definitely like to talk to you more about this offline. Are you currently in the field or where
No,
do you?
I work in IT, so I'm in cybersecurity.
Okay, I see. All right,
Hmm.
sounds good. Anything else to add?
Nothing much, but I definitely enjoy your live streams and your pre-records. I definitely use them as a compass when I need to navigate the continent. So
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to conversing with you more.
good night.
Thanks. Bye. So you guys, you heard there. You guys, you're open. You're allowed to come on this channel so we can have this kind of discussions. Try to make this channel more of a very productive channel and informative, where you can gain more knowledge or perhaps even share whatever you may have to share. So let me see. Waste also make great compost fertilizer, which is good for farming. Yeah, I think I also mentioned this earlier. People who are in the agriculture sector and perhaps looking to go into it, and we do need fertilizers. So as you guys have seen, the war between Russia and Ukraine, if you do your research, you will see between these two countries, one of the countries, if you have to go do your research, produces the most fertilizer across parts of Europe. And then if there's war going on in that country, where do you think the other people are going to get the fertilizers from? Ta-da! And so there are a lot of problems that can be solved if we go this bioenergy route, or a way to convert these food particles into fertilizer. There's so many things that can be solved with this whole waste management issue that we are experiencing. The question is, who is going to provide the solution? And that's why we're counting on all of the Liberians to help provide a solution for waste, because we sit and say, oh, Monrovia is dirty, which, by the way, Monrovia does not define Liberia. We need to really stop saying, and of course, I could see why, because it's the capital city, right? But it does not define a whole country. And so I see why people say, oh, Monrovia needs to be clean, but all of the country needs to be clean. Instead of saying the country needs to be clean, the country this, the country that. What kind of conversations are you having to help alleviate this problem, or even to partially help solve this problem? And we are about 100,000 plus Liberian away from Liberia. And I'm sure amongst all of us, there are people with great brain and money that can help come to provide some type of solution. And as the gentleman said here, there's so many things that he stated here that based, of course, on my research and talking to other waste management companies, that can be very doable in our country, starting with recycling, really, providing incentives for people. Honestly, you will start to see more people collecting trash and putting in and taking it in plastic and going to give it for money. Another way is to get a system that will employ people who will be working at these sites. As you guys, I don't know if you guys recycle, but when I would drive my grandma to go to recycle her bottles, a lot of people work there. So you're not only solving waste management issue, you're actually giving opportunities to those that are unemployed. So you're solving multiple problems by engaging in this. The question I've always asked is, can this be done privately? It surely can. Anyway, so who else wants to come? Who else wants to come? Or you guys just want to watch me talk? So anyway, yeah, I've already read that comment. Somebody said hello to me earlier. Let's see where that Hello, 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 hello. Thank you for engaging with this live. Thank you so much for watching. Whoever wants to come on, please do come on. I'm fixing my hair. All right, so you can come on and we can talk. Okay, we're talking about clean air only because this if you're new, I'm going to refresh you on the topic that we've been having here. Clean air, is it a privilege or a right? And this really started. This conversation started based on an article that I've read twice now, twice, about a town on the Roberts Free Highway belt called Town. And for the Liberians who are very familiar with this place, you probably don't know anything about this. But they have a landfill there where they have per day over 1,613 tons of waste. They pile it up and pile it up, increasing number of roaches, bugs, rats, smell, everything you can think about. And what it does to residents of that place, it increases their exposure to communicable diseases. And what it does to them leads to what? Death. But not a lot of us know that because not a lot of us can go home, not a lot of us can go and read, and not a lot of us try to solve issues, not a lot of us are very involved. This is why I would like to know what people think about this topic. Um, and yeah, so the gentleman here already shared what it is that he can contribute. So I'm looking for people who are interested in actually coming out here too and giving their opinion or feedback about this topic. Don't let me talk about myself. Another thing I asked was, where are you watching from tonight? Or this evening, wherever you may be. For those people in California, it's evening time because right now it is after 6. And those on the East Coast is after 9 o'clock. And some of my folks in Australia, I don't know what time it is because you are 16, 17 hours plus ahead of me. But thanks for watching anyway. So yeah, so if you would like to join this conversation and discussion, please come on. I'm looking to find to know more ways to convert our trash. I'm piloting something. So I'm looking for more ways to to convert our trash to something more beneficial for the environment. Yes, take care. Thanks for joining this live. Thank you for being so interactive. We look forward to speaking to you next time and where you're not in class and you can actually join the live. So yeah, have a good class and study and get ready to be a change agent in Liberia. We move. Yeah, so if you're interested in this discussion, as I've mentioned previously, you can definitely send me your email and I will add you to this live. Don't be shy. Come on, let's hear from you. I'm sure you have a lot more to add to this discussion. So we talk about converting waste to energy, okay, which is electricity. That some of us are privileged here in the United States to have 24/7. If you pay your bills, you know what I mean. um, and then we also talk about fertilizers for those into farming, which is something sometimes is hard to get within the country because it's obviously imported. Um, Fuel, we talked about that, and the gentleman here talked about how we can burn it, right? Which is obviously not the primary solution, but it is a proposed solution based on the discussion we are having. So if you know any other way that we can convert some of the trash we see over our Monrovia, right? You guys go, Monrovia is dirty. That we see daily or when we visit the country, the trash and waste that we see all over the place. How can we then turn this into something beneficial for us and the environment? Is what we're talking about here. So if you do have any 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents to add, please send me your email once more and I shall add you to this live. And don't make me talk about myself. Talk about myself. So that's what we're having. Productive conversations. Okay, I want to hear from you guys. What are some of your solutions? What have you observed? What have you researched in terms of what we can do with trash in Liberia. Yep. Solution. I'm not a big fan of short-term solutions, but short-term solutions tend to kind of lead to a better path for long-term solutions. It creates a better path for long-term solutions. However, an effective solution is really what I'm always after. So yes, getting a landfill and putting things trash there, that's the first step. Oh, now, how can you get that trash to something more beneficial is always my solution, and that's how I that this is the only solution that I would see is become more effective because you're putting people to work. You found solutions. You found ways to make waste money. All of these good things can be done, but then again comes back to the question: why are we not doing it? If some of these solutions were so simple, why are we not doing it? Why do we go into the places dirty? Is it that we need to provide awareness? Yes, we do need to provide awareness because when people are used to how they navigate their daily lives and you come and say you're trying to change things, they look at you like you're crazy. I'm used to throwing things behind my house, and now you're telling me to put stuff in the trash can? Are you crazy? This is where the awareness part comes in. Then you go beyond awareness because everything requires money. Okay? As I always tell my friends in Liberia, money make better dance. People, when they have incentives, they respond more favorably, okay, right? So that they respond accordingly because they're incentivized, okay? You're providing something for them, even though it benefit them somewhat, but they still want to see what it is that they need to put much effort in, why they have to put much effort in. And so this program does require a lot of money. So let's say somebody came in and gave you millions and millions of dollars for this program. You are still going to be needing people with integrity, with leadership, okay? People who can actually deliver on things they said they would. Because it really has been done before. It's money giving to this program that I'm talking about. But it's a failed program because there's no sense of accountability. There's no sense of accountability. So if I come and give you $8 million and I said go and revamp the waste management system, and there's no waste management in Monrovia, there's only one question to ask: what happened? Why? What happened of which you failed? It's simple. So who's keeping anyone accountable? Whoever I give the $8 million to, who's keeping them accountable? Are they really accountable? Are they really doing the job? And so these are some of the questions that need to be asked when we are considering these things. If you're coming in the position to help with this solution, how effective are you even going to be? Do you just want to come in, take the money? Do you want to partially take the money and leave the people with diseases by just having landfills? So yeah, these are some of the questions to like think about as you are trying to really come up with some solutions too. Um, so yeah, if you want to come on this live to talk about waste management and or clean air, you can definitely come on. Send me an email. You guys are watching and not you guys are not acting. It's not okay. Um. Yes. Solutions are there. Um, Leadership perhaps may not even be there. Um, and those who may have the leadership qualities to get this done may not even have access to the key ingredient to work make this happen, which is so nice. Be able to fund this process because not only that you're getting machines, um, they're not cheap machines. Um, you're going to be needing reinforcement. for people to be in compliance. And through compliance, there are people that needs to be paid. And then there are people that needs to be constantly on payroll. And then there's awareness that needs to happen for God know how many years. Because telling people to pick up trash and why they need to have a clean environment, it's not going to be a 1 day or 2 day or 1 year, 10, 2, 3 years thing. It just has to be a continuous improvement type of thing. And every day people need to be aware why the place needs to be clean. It's something that you need to do. And at year 1, even at year 5, people get tired and people are never consistent. Human nature, why we don't succeed, most time is because we're not consistent. We're not consistent, we're not persistent. And so we don't succeed. And so people who come into this whole waste management, I want to do waste management, I want to do waste management, they don't have the financing, perhaps you're not consistent. And they don't have leadership skills. There's so many other things that come into place. So I'm asking you, what are some solutions to this our waste management problem or waste problem, not management, waste problem in the country? Why is it that we talk about it, that the place is dirty, but we don't have solutions to the problem? Why we don't have solution up to this day? Why do we drive and say, oh, the place is dirty, but there's no solution or effective solution? You people go to the hospital always, and so I'm always diagnosed with typhoid. I laugh about this all the time. I laugh about this all the time. Oh, every time I either have malaria or I have typhoid. But if you really think about it, you could have typhoid. But maybe that's only because that's what they're diagnosing you with. But yeah, you really could. Because look at environmentally what you are being exposed to. It can give you a free way to have typhoid. So there's some validity in why you do have typhoid. Now, if the maybe they're misdiagnosing you, but honestly, you really could. Because there are environmental issues that can lead you to have typhoid. But then you don't even think about that. And you say, oh, they diagnosed me with typhoid today. That's the only thing they can diagnose me with. Typhoid and malaria. Well, yeah, maybe you really do have it. So, yeah, these things are leading to diseases, and people just walk around and say, oh, I have typhoid, but I died. Well, hello, you're inhaling. There's just a lot of factors that they don't see that leading to the death and diseases that you may perhaps get when you're within that environment that you don't understand, because the environmental repercussion is not being taken into consideration. The risk that this does pose to people's health is not taken into consideration. So, yes. What if you guys don't have anything for those who have been telling you guys to send me an email if you want to be on this live, you should share your email. Stop just watching me and I talk too much when I get on this channel. So I would like to also interact with people who have something to add to the discussion, so I don't have to always be talking about myself. Yes. Okay, so this young man left already. So just comment. So anyway, where are you guys watching from? Because I know people are watching. Where are you guys watching from? I am here talking to you from the great state of California. I don't care what people say. We're in the next several years to come. California says they will only allow EVs. EVs. Okay. We shall wait. Anyway, that would be good for some of our stocks. I think I may have skipped somebody. You can't wait to go to Liberia and buy land and build the biggest farm with everything on that farm. hey, the more the better, okay? If we have more people in Liberia who can do things or who leave the diaspora to do things, kudos to all of us. Kudos to all of us, and that brings about development anyway. So yeah, that'll be good. So yes, if you want to join this live to talk about clean air in Liberia and why clean air is more of a right, not a privilege, in Liberia specifically, this specific town that I talk about, Town, you are welcome to come on the live. You can leave me your email, and I will add you to the live. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You can join. You can join. Don't be shy. Um, and if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask. And you can also tell me where you're watching from. Be interactive, guys. Don't be boring. Don't be on my channel and be boring. Before I find you, you guys want me to give you an incentive for talking and communicating and being a part of this? I don't think so. um, but yeah, so that's really what I wanted to talk about today. And for those who always go to Ghana and fly out of Ghana to Liberia, I have news for you. So get your pen and your paper and understand that Airline no longer going to Liberia as of August 26th. So that again is a limitation in access to more flights. But the reason isn't necessarily the runway nor the lights. If that's what you're thinking, is a global issue that has actually led them to reduce their frequency in the country. So they've decided to suspend operations within Liberia. So that's the African War Airlines that flies from Accra to Monrovia and Sierra Leone. In this case, I'm only focused on Monrovia. So the airline decided to suspend services in Monrovia because of the high operational cost due to fuel increase in fuel prices. So as a business person, sometimes you have to make the toughest decision that you have to. And so the airline decided they will suspend services. Then what does that do for some of us? Fewer options, fewer options, and more money in terms of ticket prices across the other airline, which is the Togolese airline that I take when I'm flying to Liberia from Ghana. And so that's the news. So since I'm your source of news, that's the news out of Africa. And then, of course, this clean air thing we're talking about is also based on article that I've read twice. How the people of Windtown are, impacted from the waste that are, that they dumped within their external environment. So yes, actually I'm waiting a bit because I have a dinner thing to do, so I'll get refreshed, gonna get ready a little bit. So if you guys don't have anything to add, you're watching me on here, you're not saying where you're chatting, where you're watching me from. That is very unacceptable. You need to tell me where you're watching from. Guys, don't do this. Okay, wait a second. I guess you guys would just watch me here and I won't have anything else to add until my friend can text me and tell me if she's ready to go eat. To go eat. Yep. So yeah, if you guys want to come on my live, like I said, I will let you on, but I have nothing else to add. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Okay, guys. I will now definitely be getting off. Thank you for watching, and thanks to Mike for joining the live, and those who've watched for also your participation. A lot of content will be on my channel soon. Uh, so yeah, take care. Be blessed. Have a good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Good afternoon, and for those who support my channel, sincerely, thank you for all that you do. Take care. Goodbye. Bye.